रघुनंदन महोदय, अधुना वयं डौट् क्लारिफिकेशन् कर्तुं शक्नुमः।
अवश्यम् अवश्यं। धन्यवादाः भगिनी। राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः नमो नमः, सुप्रभातम्। So as announced in the previous class, we shall go over some of the previous lessons, and if there are any doubts that were not clarified, etc., we shall go over them, and we'll try to answer most of your questions in live, so that you will be also getting the answers directly from us. So I'm lowering everyone's hands now. So how we will do is, right now we shall focus on the lesson number 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is Induhu, Gauhu, Sri Ramaha, and Guru Upadeshaha. So these are the 4 lessons. If anyone has any doubts related to these 4 lessons, okay, let me repeat again. So it is lesson number 2, 3, 4, and 5 as per our Dvitiya textbook. So please start raising your hands, and you can we shall unmute and you can ask the questions, and we will take it forward from there. Okay, these are the 4 lessons which I have told: lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, and lesson 5. Okay, Arun Mahodaya, you can ask your question.
Ram 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 Mahodaya.
Ram Ram Ram.
Sir, one doubt is there. Bahuvachanam Likhata. Sir, in Bahuvachanam Likhata, third question is Pratyaham Gopalaha Gam Kshiram Dokti. Sir, how to convert in Bahuvachana? Karma Pada also. Pratyaham Gopalaha Gaha Kshiram Duhanti or Gam Kshiram Duhanti.
Okay. Maheshwari Bhagini, would you like to answer? So in general, I will just give the gist of it. In general, when the question is asked, Bahuvachanam Likhata, in general, it is in whichever vacha it is. So basically, this is a Kartri Prayoga or Kartri Prayoga. So in which the Kriya Padam is what we will have to make it as a Bahuvachanam, and correspondingly we'll have to make the corresponding word, which will be the Kartri Padam, as the Bahuvachanam. Okay, this is the first way to look at it. Now, since depending on the context, so here Gopalaha Gam Dogthi is what is there.
Gam Kshiram Dogthi.
Gam Kshiram Dogthi. That is right. So now Gopalaha Gam Kshiram Dogthi Duhanti is first answer that we will get. But if we also see in another way, now it is that so all the Gopalas will not be milking the same cow. So they will be milking many cows, right? So Tada Kim Bhavati, in that case, Gaha Kshiram Dogthi will be the right answer for that.
Gaha Kshiram Duhanti. Gaha Kshiram Duhanti.
Yeah, Gaha Kshiram Duhanti. So you don't have to make Kshiram as Kshirani. Kshiram is Ekvachanam only. You don't have to change that.
Okay.
But since depending on the context, because there are many people, many Gopalas who will milk many cows, it will not be. So Tadartham Gaha Kshiram Duhanti will be the right answer. Gopalaha Gaha Kshiram Duhanti.
Depending upon the context.
Yes, depending on the context. But if it was like Balakaha Patham Pathati, okay, if that is the case, Balakaha Patham Pathanti.
Patham Pathanti.
Is still
not Pathani Pathanti.
Yeah, or Pathan Pathanti is also valid. I'm not telling that it is wrong. But even if you say Balakaha Patham Pathanti, that is also still correct.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Dhanyawadaha Mahodaya.
Astu, Dhanyawadaha. Maheshwari Bhagini, anyat kimapi yojaniyam chit?
न महोदय, सम्यक् अस्ति।
अस्तु।
धन्यवादः अरुण महोदय।
धन्यवादः महोदय।
अस्तु, नेक्स्ट इज सीतारामन महोदय।
सीतारामन
धेनुः पठे गोपालः गोपः, are the same meaning?
Yes. Gopalaha Gopaha. So Gam Pati iti. So Pa, whenever we use Pa, the word in general, it means one who protects, one who takes care of, etc. So Gopaha, Gopalaha, both are equal in meaning. So they are synonyms.
Dhanyawadaha.
Dhanyawadaha. Next is Gopal Krishna Mahodaya.
राम राम महोदय। सीता लक्ष्मणाभ्यां सह, when we use that word, Ramah Sita Lakshmanabhyam saha vanam agachat. If we split Sita saha means we have to write Sitaya
Yes.
Tritya
That is
Sitaya
right.
saha. Lakshmanena saha.
Right.
If you write it separately as a as a Sita Lakshmanabhyam. Is there
That
any
is correct.
rule of writing Sita and Lakshmana together, or it can be separated, or just as a for my knowledge, I
Okay.
just asked.
So since the what is the intention of the sentence? Intention of the sentence is Rama goes to the forest along with Sita and Lakshmana. So this is along with Sita and Lakshmana. So these two people are already there. So Sita Lakshmana Bhyam, Sita Lakshmana will be one of the samasa, wherein Sita cha Lakshmanascha. Okay, Sita and Lakshmana, and hence this will become the dvivachana, and always it will be like Sita Lakshmana Bhyam saha is what is being used. But you can also say Sitaya tatha Lakshmanena saha Ramaha vanam gacchati. But only thing that we'll have to take care about here is whenever we use saha, saha sakam sartham samam, the corresponding word should be in Tritya Vibhakti. So Sitaya saha Lakshmanena saha, Sitaya tatha Lakshmanena saha Ramaha vanam gacchati. So to include both of them in one word, that is based on the samasa, it is Sita Lakshmana Bhyam saha.
So we cannot have any particular lingam for that word.
It is the Dvandva
It's not
samasa.
Sama.
It is a pulling actually now. Sita Lakshmana. Okay, it is a pullinga shabda. It will become Sita cha Lakshmanascha, Sita Lakshmana. So then Sita Lakshmana Bhyam will be in pullinga because the entire word will be the pullinga shabda.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavadah. Sainis Bhagini.
I want to ask, like in Amarakosha, in this fourth lesson, you have to memorize the names of all the monkey and Surya, and it's very difficult. We can't even break those words and say it properly. So if you Sandhi Vibhag, and then you give us the thing, then it's simple to read and remember. I don't know whether we can remember those 6, 7, 8 names or whatever.
For those Kapihi and Suryaha, I gave the Padachedam Bhagini.
No, Surya, you are not given for Surya.
No, Surya also we have given. If it's not given, then I will check and I will upload it.
Please split. At least we will know the correct word for other word. And are we supposed to remember all those things?
If you remember,
we will have to memorize these Amara Koshas also, because in the exam there may be a few questions to fill in the blanks or to write the other synonyms of Amara Kosha. I mean, for a given set of words. Okay, so that's the reason we will have to practice them. So you can actually include that as part of your everyday reading.
But we should know we should know how to split it properly and say. That is.
I think I think it is already been shared. Okay, let me share my screen and let me show it to you. So if you come to this lesson, I mean the 8th session, and if you see the PDF, so in the Amara Kosha, it is there. So what is the split?
Okay, thank you.
Plavanga, Plavagaha. So
it's given.
So the Padacheda is given here. So you can remember the names by that.
Name. Okay. Another question is from the Go that Tritiya Patha. It says that Prathamam Vatsa Stanyam Pibati. Now it is from this thing, no? Stanya. So it should be Stanyat or something like Panchami.
No. Because see, the word itself is formed because of tadhita. So automatically that meaning is already been there in that word. So that is the reason Stanyam Pibati is what is given.
Okay. Dhanyavad.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Next is Prakash Mohini Bhagini.
In this Vanara only, this after Plavang, is it Pavalaga or Plavaga
It is Plavaga.
in Padacheda?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dhanyawadaha for that. We will correct it and upload it again. So it is Plavaga only.
Okay. And in a Go Patha, you have mentioned Tishtati sits, and in Guru Updesha, it is stay, Tishtati. What is
Right.
the meaning of
Yes.
Tishtati?
Tishtati is basically the Stha Dhatu. Okay. Stha Dhatu is for two meanings. One is to stay and one more is to stand. Both of them can be used.
Stand, but in some places it is mentioned sit. So it is not clear actually.
Okay, so sit or stay. So it is basically to be stationary. That is one meaning of Tishtati.
Oh,
Another one is to stand. So some of the dhatus will have multiple meanings. It is not so depending on the context. There will be a slight change which is adaptable to the same meaning. Okay, so to stay,
that
to be stationary, to sit. So that will be the meaning. But to actually to say sit, upavishati is the word that you can use to say someone is sitting. Balakaha upavishati, balakaha uttishtati.
Upavashati is this.
Yeah.
Yes, I was confused actually. Last time in Prathama we were told Upavashati is sits and Tishtati is stand.
Right. Tishtati is stand. Uttishtati is basically to get up and stand. So stha is both stand and to stay. So that is the meaning.
Dhanyavad.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. There are two more questions related to these four chapters. Praveen Mohodaya. Next is Shivaswami Mohodaya in the same order.
नमो नमः,
Namaste.
पतये नमः और शिवाय नमः और कृष्णाय नमः. Now this namaha is not the verb. Namaha is the namas. I think it is namas sakaranta shabdasya dvitiya ekvachanam.
Namaha is basically you can think it as like there is a sutra which governs this. So basically namaswasti swaha swadha. So whenever we use these words along with these words, we will be having the corresponding word in Chaturthi. So namaha means salutations. That is the meaning of the word namaha.
But is this namaha, is it means one of the shabda rupa? Dvitiya ekvachanam.
Yes,
Namas
it is.
shabdasya.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is namas shabda only. Namaha, namasi, namamsi. That is these are the forms. It is sakarantaha napumsakalinga shabda.
Okay, dhanyawada.
Yeah, here. I mean, in that context, if you see, it will be in prathama vibhakti.
Okay,
It is not
okay,
Tritiya.
prathama vibhakti. And then verb is astu.
Astu that you can use. Namaha astu, namostute, etc. In various shlokas we see it.
So namastu. Right.
Let the salutations be there. So that is the meaning of that entire context.
Okay. Okay, dhanyawada.
Yeah, astu, dhanyawadaha. Shivaswami Mohodaya.
Sir, I am Shivaswami. My question is on the chapter 7, Subhashitani.
We'll come there. So please, we are currently doing 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll come to that next chapter. So please wait for that.
Okay.
So that it is just ordered. That's the only reason I have made it that way, like so that it will be clear. I mean, all the doubts related to the first few lessons are completed, and next we will go to the next. And towards the end, maybe we'll have an open-ended one, like any question that is not answered. So kindly cooperate. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Krishnamurti Mohodaya, you can ask your question.
So this is slightly related to namaha. Namaste is namaha plus te, or how does it break namaste?
It's basically namahate.
Yeah.
Yes, namaste. That's right.
Okay, thank you. Dhanyawada.
Yes. So similarly, the other words, that is namaskaraha and puraskaraha. There also it is namaha and karaha. There are special grammar rules which will say that it will become namaskara and puraskara. So So this also gets the sanya of kind of a upasarga in some cases. So based on some of the grammar rules, and based on that, it will be namaskara and puraskara. That's how the words are formed. Okay. Yeah. Rama Bhagini.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, I want to know for a particular Kriya Padam, what is the dhatu? From the references, only from the dhatu we can find over there other reference, other sense, other words. But
right.
I want to know, for example, padati. If I want to say padati, I from the reference I should get pad. Is there any reference book for that?
Yeah, you can refer to any of the Dhatu Rupas that is available, Dhatu Rupavalihi, any of that kind of a book where you'll get it. Or another one definitely useful website is this ashtadhyayi.com, and if you come to Dhatu Patha and you can type in whichever Dhatu you want. I mean, if you know the form, okay, so so if you see here, like, okay, so you want now, for example, Pathati, right? You can just type in this, okay, and then if you search in the search bar, you will get that which dhatu it is. So Patha dhatuhu vyaktayam vache, what is the meaning of it, which gana it belongs to, and other things. You will get it in
Very
this
nice.
So you
Very
can
nice,
make use of this website, and you will get all the answers for that.
You kindly include in your lessons slides, sir, this one.
This is already included, Bhagini, if you actually refer to any of the slides, right? So for example, in this presentation, so it's being included in every slide actually towards the end
Okay,
of
sir.
the
Okay,
last
okay.
slides, you can definitely refer to it.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so it's there. I'll just show you that. So so here before that, what are the references? It's already present here, dictionaries for reference, but anyway, ashtadhyayi.com is mentioned. So you can also just go to that and refer to Dhatu, and you will be able to get that.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you. Namaste.
Astu, dhanyawadaha. Okay. So I think these were the questions related to these chapters. We will proceed further to the next set of chapters, which is now related to Sandhi and the grammar portions, which is Kridanta, Upasargas. So these are some topics we will discuss about now. Sandhi and grammar portions, and after that we shall discuss about 8, 9, 10 and 11, so the last 4 lessons that are there that we have completed. So now it is for grammar. I'm lowering everyone's hands, so please start raising your hands now. Okay, I lowered everyone's hands, so please start raising your hands again. Okay, so first is Harin Mehta Mohdaya.
Ram Mohdaya.
Namaste.
So I'm trying to understand the difference between akarmaka, sakarmaka, and vikarmaka dhatu padanis.
Okay.
And the bru dhatu is written as a sakarmaka, and bru is to speak. How can that be sakarmaka if I understand whatever those?
Which dhatu?
Bru dhatu. Bruhi, tanme bruhi. Bruhi to speak.
Bruhi vaktayam vachi. Okay. Bru dhatu. Okay, fine. What I will do is I will just give try to give a very basic overview of what it is, because the concept when it comes to say Dvikarmaka, it is very complex. I mean, it is not very straightforward or very easy to understand. There are various grammar rules that come into play. So I'll try to give in a simpler way of what it actually means. Okay.
Okay.
So in a very simple sense, the sakarmaka and akarmaka means whether it is a transitive verb or an intransitive verb. So what that does, what it means is, if it will support a karma pada, that is the only question. So now karoti. So if you see this dhatu and you use this dhatu and ask a question, kaha karoti, who does something? Okay. So Ramaha karoti. Ramaha kim karoti. Now when you ask a question, Ramaha kim karoti, what is Rama doing? Then you can get an answer saying Ramaha karyam karoti, Ramaha bhojanam karoti, etc. So this dvitiya vibhakti word, which is an answer for kim karoti, will be the karma pada. So the verbs that can support this kind of the karma pada are called sakarmaka. Okay, that is that transitive verbs. So similarly, if you say, for example, we will take likhati, Ramaha likhati or pathati. So Ramaha kim pathati, Ramaha patram pathati, Ramaha Geetam pathati, etc. You can have an answer for it. So it will become sakarmaka. Now, if you ask a question, kim karoti or kim with any verb, and you don't get an answer to it, so those are the verbs which do not support a karma pada, and they are called akarmaka dhatus. Okay, for example, we will take this dhatu only, which is stha, which is tishtati. Ramaha tishtati. Ramaha kim tishtati. If you ask a question, you don't have an answer. A karma pada, there is no karma pada for this question, right? So that is an akarmaka dhatu. So now if you are clear about sakarmaka and akarmaka, this is the clarity, that is the transitive and intransitive. How to identify whether it is sakarmaka or akarmaka? Always ask the question along with the kartrupada and the kriyapada with the kim. Ramaha kim tishtati, then you don't have an answer. Ramaha kim hasati. Similarly, has dhatu, hasati also is an akarmaka dhatu. So now coming to dvikarmaka, these are a set of dhatus, specific set of dhatus, which can support two different karma padas. Okay, this is very important. So for example, Ramaha patram pathati, Ramaha Geetam pathati. Here also there are two different answers you may say, but that is not, but it is one kind of only karma pada. But now if you say dogdhi, dhatu is there, which is a dvikarmaka dhatu. Here Gopalaha dogdhi. Gopalaha kim dogdhi. What will Gopala milk? Gopala can milk the milk. So that is what is Gopalaha kshiram dogdhi. So you get one karma pada. And also one more, he can milk a cow. So Gopalaha gam dogdhi. Gopalaha gam kshiram dogdhi. So it can support two different the karma padas. So that is why it is called dvikarmaka dhatu. So this is just as a gist for you to understand. But the concept of dvikarmaka is too deep. So it is very difficult to probably explain in a short while. And at this point in time, it will be also not very much applicable to explain it in detail about it.
Okay, thank you, no worries. And then the second question is, in one of the lesson we had a Adhyapayan Asit. It was in the, I believe in the chapter of Kaveri, which will come later, but it was in the chapter of Kaveri. The Agastya Muni was busy Adhyapayan Asit.
I get that.
Right. So in that, it was written, I have the thing open, it says it is written as Adhyapayan. But when you have been pronounced Adhyapayan as if there were two ends. And you said it's a continuous present tense. Why is that way?
Adhyapayan is present continuous. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So in general, whenever we have any nakara or anything or any ardhakshara towards the end, so especially here, Adhyapayan, so that extension is probably the traditional pronunciation that has come. So there's no specific thing to it.
Okay, no worries. Thank you very much.
Dhanyawadaha.
Dhanyawad.
Okay, Praveen Mohoday, you can ask a question.
Acha, about the sandhi, yanta vanta deshasya sandhi.
Yes.
Yesterday I had sent you an email also.
Yes, I remember.
Now haraye is hare plus a, but this is actually chaturthi ekvachanam. So why it is called sandhi?
Okay, so why it is called sandhi, I'll explain it about it. Just give me a second. So now to form that word, okay, haraye. So in Sanskritam, if you remember, if from Prathama, these Shabda Rupani are also called as Subantas. So that means to say, on a Pratipadikam, you have various pratyayas that get added. And there are various grammar rules which will make this final form of the word come into place. So in the process of creating that, so for example, Hari is the Pratipadikam. And when we are speaking about this Chaturthi Vibhakti, it is Nye, or that will be the Pratyaya. So when this needs to be added, first step in that will become that Hari Shabda, there is a Gunadesha that will happen, and because of which the Hari will be changed to Hare. And then this Ekara will be there for the Chaturthi Vibhakti Artha. So then hare and a, when this has to be combined, there should be some grammar rule. That grammar rule is sandhi. So because of a sandhi, that hare a will become haraye. Okay. So let me just open that Yantavanta Desh Sandhi table so that it's easier for us to correlate. So this is correlation. So after this, I think here we should be having it. Okay. So that is the reason that Gurave and Haraye, all these are the examples of the
Yantavanta.
Okay.
And
So
the
one more
same way that
more-
nai adhika
I'll
artha
come to that.
nayakaha.
Yeah,
That
I'll
nai
come to
has
that.
got no meaning.
No, I'll come to that. I'll just explain about it. So before that, I want to also tell about this. So here, right, in Yantavanta Desha Sandhi, if you see Hare A, and then in the Purva Rupa Sandhi, okay. So this Yantavanta Sandhi can happen anywhere, like I mean between the word in the sense when the word is being formed. That is, for example, like Haraye, Gurave, etc. But Purva Rupa Sandhi can happen only between the final words. So that is He Hare Ava. Okay, that in that Hare, it is the final word Saptami Vibhakti Hare. Okay, so that is what you should just know, because both of them, the word may be the same, like Hare A here and so on. Okay, that is one point. Now coming to your question, next question about Nayakaha and Pavakaha, these two words, that is Nai and Pav, what are these? So this is based on the Dhatu, Ni Naye Dhatu, Nayati, that is the Dhatu. On that Dhatu, this is a particular Pratyaya that gets added. So then there is a Vriddhi Adesha that comes, and because of Ni Ikara, it becomes Aikara, Nai. So this is a transformed form of the Dhatu, Ni Dhatu. In the same way, Pau is also another Dhatu, Pun Pavane Dhatu, which is to say purify. The meaning of that Dhatu is to purify. So on the Pu Dhatu, you get a Vriddhi Adesha. These are some of the grammar rules. I'm just touch basing that so that you can understand in a bigger context. So that Ukara, when you make it as a Vriddhi, the associated Vriddhi letter is Aukara. So hence this has become Pau. So but it's a transformed form of Pu Pavane Dhatu. And
Okay,
hence,
dhanyawada.
yeah, that's how these words get formed. Okay, hope that was clear. So we'll proceed further. Ghansham Mohodaya. Next in the line is Gopal Krishnan Mohodaya.
Ram Mohodaya.
Ram.
Sir, in the sentence, whenever you use a Twa Pratyaya, the Twa Pratyaya behave like Avyeya. It does not change along with the Karta or Kriya Pada.
Correct.
Then whenever we Twa Pratyaya, sometimes it carry the Karma Pada. And sometimes it carry only the Prasama Vibhakti word. So why it is different? It is even though it is Avyeya, it behaves like a Kriya Pada, right?
So it is based on a Kriya Pada, right? So that is the main reason. So any Kridanta, for that matter, any Kridanta, whether it's Ebanta, Tvanta, Tumun, or any of these, they have the sense of a Kriya in that. So Kritva. Balakaha karyam kritva anyatra gacchati. So karyam kritva. So karyam will become the karma pada of the sentence. So because kritva is, however, is giving the kriya vachakatva. So it is giving the meaning of a kriya pada, but though it is not a tinganta shabda. So that is the distinction. Okay, but it is an avyaya. So corresponding to this avyaya, whichever word is there. So based on that, the vibhakti etc. will be changing. So
suppose sir, if it is a karma kriya pada, then it will carry, it does not carry karma pada. For example, in Kaveri chapter, we have seen the Ata yadi bhavan annyatra gacchati tari ham swasantra bhutva. The swasantra is not a karma pada. It is a prathama vibhakti.
Yes, that is not karma pada at all. Yes, that is.
So bhutva is a karma kriya pada. That means.
Correct.
Okay. Dhanyawad sir.
Sure. So next is Gopal Krishnan Mohodaya. You can ask your question.
Ram Mohodaya.
Ram.
In writing the Virudharthaka Padam, for some of the words we are adding it's like Artham, Anartham, Satyam, Asatyam, Argaha, Anargaha, Adaraha, Anadaraha. So what is that? It is not an Upasarga, no? It is what is that letter is called?
Okay, so it is basically based on a samasa, which basically it's a Tatpurusha samasa, which is Nai Tatpurusha samasa. Okay, it is. I mean, just know the name. Don't worry, because we don't have a detailed study of samasa at this level. So
what is the name, sir?
Nai. Okay,
Nai.
it is. Yeah. So I'll just write it over here. Okay, the fifth letter of Chavarga, Cha Cha Jajanya, Nai Tatpurusha samasaha. So this is like na arhaha, na arhaha. This is what it will be. I mean the samasa. So this will become anarhaha based on some of the rules. So similarly, for any other examples that you gave, you quoted satyam, asatyam, na satyam, asatyam. So that is what will be the akara will be the prefix. Okay, it is not an upasarga per se, but that is based on the samasa. You get that form.
One more is that what is the meaning of tavalkara? You explained tavalkara.
Okay. So there is no meaning of that actually, because it is since it is for the sandhi exercise. Tava plus likaraha. Likaraha means the letter L, you can think it. So for tava, for you, likara is wrong. I mean maybe you can make that as a context.
No. Okay.
So, but there's no meaning with tava plus likara. There's no meaning that. Yeah. Dhanyawad. Okay. If you have got a chance, please lower your hands. Otherwise, I'll be calling the same names maybe. Yeah, Prakash Mohini Bhagini, you can ask your question. Next is Sinus Bhagini.
Yeah, Kridanta can become Avyaya or Subantam. So how do we know?
How do we know? Is based on, so not the same Kridanta cannot be both Avyaya and Kridanta, Avyaya and Namapadam. So there are a set of Kridantas which are already said that these are Avyayas only. For example, Tva, Tumun and Lyap. These three Kridantas are Avyayas. So remaining all the other Kridantas will follow the Namapada way. Like Kshetra Pratyaya or Gatavan. These are some of the words you have heard. So that's the reason I'm telling them. Gatavan, etc. These are all the Namapada based. So they will have different lingas. Like it can exist in Pullinga, Strilinga and Apumsakalinga. So on.
Dhanyawad.
Sure. Sinus Bhagini, you can ask your question.
Yes, page 98, it is written Upasargena Dhatvartho Balad Anyatra Niyate Prahara Samhara. It's all big word.
Yeah, I will show that. Yeah, just give me a second. Let me open that slide. So it was there as part of this class, maybe. So okay, it's in, yeah. Okay, so it's in this. Let me open that. Yeah, so that is a karika which is telling or explaining about the upasarga. What are upasargas? Okay, upasargena dhatvarthaha balad anyatra niyate. So by using an upasarga, what will happen is the meaning of the word, meaning of the kriyapada will be changed, will manifest in a different way. How it is? As an example, they have given this second line, which is an example. Prahara, Ahara, Samhara, Vihara, Parihara. These are the 5 words which have been formed with the dhatu harati dhatu. This is the base word, the base dhatu. By adding different upasargas, Praharahara, Samhara, Vihara, Parihara. That is the big word. So it is just a sandhi that has been there here. Prahara, Ahara, Savarna Dirgha sandhi. And then Ahara, Samhara, there are no sandhi. Vihara, Parihara, there are no other sandhis here. So Aharati brings and so on. So this is how we have to make understand the usage of upasargas.
So even if there is no sandhi, they will join the words.
Yeah, this is samasa. This entire is actually a samasa.
Okay.
Okay. Praharahara, Samhara, Vihara, Parihara will be a samasa. This will become one word, one pratipadika kind of a thing. And then on that there is one more pratyaya that is added. That is what, when we add what means similar to. That is the meaning of this. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Next is Krishnamurti Mahodaya, and next Purnima Bhagini.
Ram Mahodaya. This Purva Rupa Sandhi comes because of with Visarga Sandhi, is it? So it is Otherwise, it does not. So each time all the examples is
okay. I will explain about it. So Purva Rupa Samati occurs when the Purva Pada is ending with Ekara or Okara. Okay, that is the first rule. And the second word, the Uttara Pada, should start with Hrasva Akara. I'm just revising the rule so that it's also clear for other students. So this is the case where the Purva Rupa Sandhi occurs. So now for the first one, for the first case, when if it is not based on a Visarga Sandhi, is whenever we have Akaranta Saptami Vibhakti. For example, Rame, Grame, Nagare. Aham Nagare Asmi, Nagare Asmi. So Nagare is Saptami Vibhakti, Ekara is ending with Ekara, and then Asmi, the second word starting with Hrasva Akara. So Nagare Asmi, now Nagare Asmi, you will get that Purva Rupa Sandhi. That is possibility. Now for Okara, you can have one example where He Guru Ava, Guru Ava, Guru Ava. Similarly, Shambho Ava, Shambhova, Shambho Asti, Shambho Asti, etc. So those are some of the
you will get Avagraha is there. There is an Avagraha comes.
Avagraha, you will get the Avagraha. Now for the other one, which is that is based on the Kriya Pada, based on the Visarga Sandhi, is where like Ramaha Avadat, Ramo Vadat. So Ramaha Avadat, it will change to Ramo and then Avadat, and that based on that also you will get the Purva Rupa Sandhi. That's the second step after Visarga Sandhi. Okay. Yeah, but independently also you can have Purva Rupa Sandhi, as I gave the few examples earlier.
Dhanyavada.
Sure, Dhanyavada. Purnima Bhagini, you can ask your question.
Namaste, sir. So same, actually, even I had the doubt in Purva Rupa Sandhi. So the one of the condition is that the Purva Pada should be Subanta form, right? So
Not just
when
Subanta or Tinganta. That means to say it should be a word basically.
okay, so especially when it is like this in this example Ramo, it is not any of the form in the Subantam. So it is confusing, right? How do we know that?
Right. That's what. So here Ramaha is the word, right? Ramaha is there in is part of the Subanta, right? Ramaha Ahasat. So in as a one of the first step, what will happen is Ramo will be the transformation. This is the first half of the Sandhi, which is based on a Visarga Sandhi. And now, since it was already a Subanta, it continues to be a Subanta. So that's how we'll have to understand it.
Okay, but when such a question is asked, my confusion is when if I can't make out that it is actually a Subantam, then there is also a Yantavanta, if that is O plus Swara, whether
Understood.
it is Yantavanta or it is Purva Rupa Sandhi, it's a confusion, no sir?
So this case will happen only, I mean, this kind of a Visarga Sandhi based word can only happen with Akarantaha Pullinga Shabda only. Instead of Ramo, Bhimo, anything. Okay, there's no other possibility at all for this.
Okay.
Okay, so that is one thing that you should know. And one more important thing is, so both the words should have independent meaning. Okay, so that is because this Sandhi, Purva Rupa Sandhi, is happening between the two final words. In contrast to this Yantavanta Desha Sandhi, wherein we have between two words, that is one possibility, and another possibility is in between the word also it is possible. Like for example, Hare E, Haraye. So that is another example that we saw, right? So that way.
Means
So,
A has no meaning, like it's not
correct.
a word. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, those are some of the examples. If you remember, I think you should be able to find.
Okay. And I also had doubts related to Shabda. Like, can I ask now?
Shabda. Okay, yeah. Please go ahead.
So, like, see, my first doubt is this Hari Shabda and Pati Shabda, both are Ikaranta Pullinga, right? But
Right.
some of the forms in Pati are different. Why? Like from Tritiya to Saptam.
Correct. That is why it is called as a special Shabda. So Pati Shabda is called a Vishesha Shabda because there are special grammar rules that govern to give the forms. So Patya you get instead of yeah. So in Tritiya or Chaturthi, etc.
Chaturthi.
in Pati Shabda compared to Hari Shabda.
So when some word is given, how do we know whether it is same as Hari or will it change?
In general, any other Ikaranta Shabda will be similar to Hari Shabda. Because so for that, okay, so for these, right, the best way to understand or use like I mean to know and learn is to have one of the reference books, something like this,
Books,
like say
okay, yeah.
Shabda Rupa Sangraha or something.
Right.
So which will list what are all the similar Shabdas below it, and then what are the Vishesha Shabdas in that particular category. So Vishesha Shabdas are very less in number. So for example, Pati Shabda is one such example. Similarly, Sakhi Shabda is one such example. So there are only quite a few number of Shabdas which are other than the regular Shabdas. So if you know only, okay, I know, okay, for Ikaranta, the special Shabdas are say 1, 2, 3. These are the only 3 special Shabdas. So whatever else is there, it will follow the regular Hari Shabda. So that's how, based on
just by practice and memory.
practice and yes, that's how it is.
And also now, if we go to Akaranta Pullinga and Akaranta Strilinga, the forms, there are some similar forms, right? Like Ramha Ramo Ramaha, Sita Site Sitaha. So that aha comes in both Pullinga and Strilinga. And some simple shabdas like Rama, Sita and all, we can make out that it is Strilinga, Pullinga. There could be some words where we can't make out which linga because it's the same form. Such
Understood.
confusion.
So, that's what. One is based on a context, based on a meaning of the word, you will have to derive it. Best way to know the linga of any word is to refer to Amarakosha or any dictionary. Dictionary is the best place to identify the linga. If you give the word, it will tell, okay, which linga this particular word is in. So that's the only way you can actually do. Else, based on your experience and practice. So
okay. Even this such similarity in Lang Parasmai Padarupani Madhyama Bahuvachana and Lang Atmanya Pratama Ekavachana. That is also when in a sentence, if I have to recognize which Dhatu Rupa it is, then both come, right?
No. So this will not be the case because Parasmaipadi and Atmanipadi Dhatu Rupa forms, in general, you will not be having any similar forms based on my experience. But in case if there is something like that, so based on the first you will have to identify the Dhatu, which Dhatu it is. And based on the Dhatu, you will be able to know whether it is a Parasmaipadi Dhatu or an Atmanipadi Dhatu. And based on that, you can identify which Vachana, which Purusha, etc. So make use of this very useful is available and there's also an app for this. Okay, if you cannot access in the website, there's an app that you can download from Play Store or also App Store. So you can actually have it and it will be helpful.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Ghanshyam Mohodaya, I think your question was answered, or if you have a different question, I'm not sure. And Harin Mehta Mohodaya.
Yeah, hi Mohdaya, this is Harin again. So you know, we have a Chatvaraha Samabhaginaha.
Right.
So why is it not Chatvaro Samabhaginaha? Wouldn't there be?
No, because it based on a Visarga Sandhi, right? It will become Chatvaras Samabhaginaha or Chatvaraha Samabhaginaha. Both ways you can tell.
But see, like Ramaha Avadat, we say Ramo Vadata.
Correct. So so that's what Ramaha Avadat. But if it is like Ramaha Samaha, Ramas Samaha only it will be. It will not be Ramo Samaha.
Okay, so there's another rule that applies here. With
so Visarga Sandhi is again a detailed one because there are various cases in Visarga Sandhi which we will learn in Tritiya. Okay, in Tritiya it's Sandhi that is there. So for now, just for the Pura Rupa context, I gave that as I just explained a bit about it. So, but yeah, there are many things in that Visarga Sandhi.
Okay, Dhanyawada.
Sure, Dhanyawada. Okay, Amita Bhargava. So last question on this topic, then we'll go to the next remaining lessons.
Yanta Ram.
Yes, Ram.
Yanta Vanta Desha Sandhi, we can say as Ayadi Sandhi.
Yes, Ayari Sandhi is also another name. It has been also clearly mentioned, and also while explaining, I had told that.
And it's Vishwa Pavani. Is it Vishwa Pav plus Ani?
Yes, Pavane Dhatu, it's a possible form of that, yes. Any other question? The word Pavana comes from that, basically.
Dhanyavada.
So, Dhanyavadaha. Okay. Okay, I've lowered everyone's hands. Now you can start raising your hands for the remaining lessons, which is lesson number 10, sorry, lesson number 8, from lesson number 8 onwards, like Bhagavan Vyasaha, Guru Bhaktaha Upamanyuhu, Tulasi and Kaveri. And if you have any questions related to Subhashitani, Shivaswami Mahoday, you can ask a question now. Shivaswami Mahoday.
My question is on chapter number 7, Subhashitani.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this Subhashitani, I don't remember that we have done the explanation, detailed explanation, and covered the complete chapter. Are we going to cover?
Yes, we'll be doing it. So in the upcoming classes, we will be doing it. So basically for both Prarthana shlokas also, that is the initial 5 shlokas that we chanted today, and also for the Subhashitani, we haven't done the grammatical analysis or the Padapadartha, etc., which we'll be doing in upcoming classes.
Dhanyawad.
Okay, sure. If I thought it could be some detailed question, and hence I had asked you to wait. But if it was just this question, I should have answered it earlier. Kshamyatam for that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, dhanyawadaha. Okay, next Nikunj Mahodaya, you can ask your question. Next is Aditi.
नमो नमः महोदय. मम प्रश्नः सुभाषितानि इति पाठे अपि अस्ति. उदये सविता रक्तः रक्तश्चास्तमये तथा. आस्तमये इति पदस्य कथं निर्मीयते?
Astamayah. Yes. Astamayah is the akaranta pullinga shabda. Astamaye will become the saptami vibhakti of that.
धन्यवाद महोदय, धन्यवाद.
Yeah, we shall learn this in detail. However, when we cover the Subhashitani chapter, I mean with meaning and padacheda, padapadartha, anvaya, all these things we shall do it.
धन्यवाद महोदय.
Sure. Yeah. Any other question, Nikunj Mahodaya?
No महोदय, धन्यवाद.
Astu. Aditi, you can ask your question.
Yes, sir. So you can hear me, right?
Yes.
I have a doubt in the lesson Kaveri. What
Okay.
is the meaning of bhitaha? Bhitaha.
Bhitaha.
Yes.
Where is that word?
It's in that's the last main.
Okay. In exercise you're speaking about?
Yes, sir. In the exercise.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Anyway, in general, bhitaha means afraid of. Being afraid.
Okay,
Bhi bhaye. Yeah. Bhitaha. I think if
And this is in Pullinga. And how do you write in Strilinga?
similar to gataha, gata, bhitaha will become what?
Bhitaha, bhita.
Yes, that's right. It will become like similar to akaranta strilinga shabda.
Okay. And Bhagavan?
Bhagavan. So it's similar to gatavan in Pullinga, gatavati in strilinga, Bhagavan in Pullinga.
Bhagavati.
Yes, Bhagavati will be in the strilinga rupa.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Anyway, we will be doing the exercises. We'll be discussing about answers as well in the upcoming class. So yeah, good question. Dhanyawadaha. Next is Nataraj Mahodaya, and next Charu.
Ram, sir.
Ram.
This thing, the lessons which you have taken when we read on this thing, you have given the meaning, this thing, all the thing aside. The other things where Bhagini has done, it has not been done. You have made any slide about this thing for the meaning of all this.
Meaning of?
Meaning of the lessons. I know underneath you put the meaning, do the word differences and all, and give a meaning in the thing. Any lesson you have taken, there is a meaning you have put in the bottom of the thing.
Correct, correct.
So where Bhagini has done, the meaning has not been given.
No, no. Whatever. So, for example, what Bhagini has taken is mostly of the memorization portions, like where, for example, it is the Samvatsaraha, Shishti Samvatsaraha, etc., for which the meaning, etc., is are not needed at this point. So that is the reason it's not being included. And other lessons, it is mostly for the reading practice, for which Bhagini is taking. So the same, whatever you have read, the reading practice has been done for the same. Those are the lessons in our textbook, and the meanings are put in the classes that I have conducted. So where we have understood the meaning line by line, etc. So that's how it has been. That is the method of teaching that we are actually adapting.
One more question, sir.
Yeah.
This thing, Guru Bhakti lesson.
Guru Bhakta Upamanyu.
Yeah. The Abhyasa there, Edasham Guru Bhaktana Vishe, they are given so many things. House, this thing,
Right.
Guru, even there, Bhagini has, where in the slide only, it's a very big thing.
Right.
What do you call it? Explanation and difficult words are being used. So we
Okay.
have to do like this, or is there way any?
So, at least you should be able to write close to 5 sentences for such questions. Yeah, 4 to 5 sentences should be good. You can so what you should do, okay, as that's why I asked, I had requested Bhagini to not share the answers initially itself for that particular main. The main reason being, we'll have to go through some of the maybe on internet you can search for the story related to Kautsa, story related to Aruni. I think I'm not sure which other question was there. Dhruva.
Kushena and Kautsa.
Yeah. So just to go through the story, maybe in your regional language or in English, and then try to translate some of the key aspects from that story into Sanskritam. So that was the writing practice which we wanted you to do, and hence we did not give the answer immediately in the next class. It was given as a homework, like, I mean, you try out first. So now, since that we have given a model answer, so these are some of the probably good maybe there are a few words which are there. So you can actually simplify it based on understanding the meaning and trying to rewrite it in a simpler way. That is possible. But yeah, 4 to 5 sentences at least you should be able to write.
So will you be coming for the exam? Because
Yes,
unknown.
Since it's part of the exercises, definitely it will be part. It can be asked for the exam.
But not other characters will be asked.
It can be. That's what I mean to say. It can be.
Okay, धन्यवाद.
Astu, dhanyawadaha. Okay, Charu, you can ask your question.
Mahodaya, the Subhashitani, are the exercises finished yet?
No, not yet.
Because some of the lessons exercises I have not filled in the book yet, like Guru Bhakta Upamanyu, I was absent when it was done.
Okay,
So,
Subhashitani, we haven't done it yet. Once we do the grammatical analysis and understanding of the Subhashitani, we will be doing the exercise, which will come in the upcoming classes.
Dhanyawadaha, thank you.
Dhanyawadaha. Okay, next is Sinus Bhagini, then Rajni Bhagini, next Sandhya Bhagini. So in the same order.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. In the 9th lesson, Guru Bhakta Upamanyu,
Yeah.
it says Upamanyu tatha iti uktva ga asevat. Now there is no word ga in that vibhakti table.
It is Gaha Asevata.
Yeah,
So
it's a mistake, I think. Printing mistake.
It's not a mistake. I explained it also during the class. So it is basically a Visarga Sandhi that has happened there. The Visarga Lopa which is there, and it is Gaha Asevata.
So it is not ga asevat. It's ga
Yeah.
gaha asevat.
Gaha Asevata. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing is it says somewhere Ashwini Kumarau. Now when we are talking about Dhaumya, then suddenly how it becomes 2.
No, not Dhaumya. Dhaumya is different. Ashwini Kumaro is different. Ashwini Kumaro, Dhaumya asks Upamanyu to pray to the Ashwini Kumaro. So Ashwini Kumara, these are the two twins. So it is a Dvivachana Shabda. Ashwini Kumaro Prarthayatu. So that's what Dhaumya, the Guru, says. And hence he prays to Ashwini Kumaro. That is the context there.
Yeah. And then in the next Tulasi lesson, there are two words, Pathitam and Itham. So
Pathitam and
Itham. Itham Sarvasyapi.
Okay, sure. Pathitam is basically, the meaning of that is boiled. Something which is boiled is called Pathitam. Itham means, boiled water, anything. Okay, so that is Pathitam. Pathitam Jalam, that is what is there. And then Itham is thus or so far or something like that.
Okay.
That is the meaning of it.
Okay, thank you. Dhanyavad.
Astu, dhanyavadah.
The word iti, does it mean more like etc.? Because there are so many places that the word iti is used. Although you say iti is like.
Iti means thus or like. Both are possible. So it's based on the context. You can see Ramaha.
But like.
So it
like in many places it says like iti, so it feels like that it says etc. That's like this somewhere.
If you see that ityadi, ityadayaha, etc., then it will become meaning will be etc.
Okay. Because the word iti is used so many places, but it does not seem to have any meaning or any importance in those places. So that is why I was confused.
Sure. No issues. Dhanyavadah.
Thank you.
Okay. Sandhya Bhagini, you can ask a question.
Hari Om Mahodaya.
Hari Om.
Ashwini Kumarau, dvous खलु तस्य अन्य नामाः सन्ति किम्?
प्रायः द्रष्टव्यं पुराणे केवलं तत्र अश्विनी कुमारौ इत्येव
सर्वत्र वयम् अश्विनी कुमारौ इति एव श्रुतवन्तः तदर्थं पृच्छति तदेक
आमां तत्र अमरकोशे नासत्यावश्विनौ दस्रौ इति अस्ति, पंक्तिः अस्ति। हरि ओम्, अधुना श्रूयते वा?
श्रूयते।
अमरकोशे काचित् पंक्तिः अस्ति, नासत्यावश्विनौ दस्रौ इति। नासत्यौ अश्विनौ दस्रौ इति एतानि त्रीणि पर्यायपदानि अश्विनी कुमाराणां कुमारयोः।
मम प्रश्नः आसीत् द्वौ जनौ अस्ति खलु, तेषां
तदेव यतोहि तत्र
पृथक् नामः अस्ति किम् इति।
नैव, पृथक् नाम नास्ति, तत्र युगलमेव,
सर्वत्र युगलमेव। अस्तु महोदय। अनन्तरं अन्यः प्रश्नः अस्ति, ध्रुव अपि कुचेलः, ध्रुव अपि कुचेलः कस्य शिष्याः अत्र अस्ति? शिष्याः विषये लिखतु इति, गुरुभक्त्या विषये लिखतु इति अस्ति खलु। गुरुभक्तानां विषये संस्कृतभाषया पञ्चवाक्यानि लिखता। कौत्सव अहं जानामि, एकलव्य अपि जानामि, कुचेलस्य शिष्यवृत्ति विषये, ध्रुवस्य शिष्यवृत्ति विषये अहं सम्यक् न जानामि। सम्यक् तेषां कृते अपि सम्यक् न जानामि, किञ्चित् जानामि।
अस्तु, ध्रुवस्य विषये अग्रे पाठः वर्तते, तत्रैव वयं ज्ञातुं शक्नुमः। कुचेलस्य गुरुः कृष्णः इति किमर्थम् इति चेत् सः कृष्णमेव, सः यद्वदति तत् सर्वं सम्यक् भवति, सः एव मम गुरुः इति। तथा यद्यपि मित्रं, कुचेलः कृष्णस्य मित्रम् अस्ति, परन्तु सः मित्रमेव गुरुः इति ज्ञातवान्, अतः गुरुभक्तः इति वक्तुं शक्यते।
परन्तु सः सान्दीपिनी महर्षिणः शिष्य खलु कृष्णस्य सहपाठी सान्दीपिनी
आमाम् अवगच्छामि।
आश्रमे पठितवान् आसीत् इति श्रुतः। सम्यक्
आम्,
न
सः
जानामि भगिनि, कथां
सहपाठी
श्रुतवती
एव।
तावदेव।
आम्, प्रश्नः सम्यक् अस्ति, सहपाठी एव, परन्तु कदाचित् वयम् अस्माकं माता वा पिता वा तानपि वयं गुरुत्वेन पश्यामः खलु, तद्वत् अत्र कुचेलः श्रीकृष्णं गुरुदृष्ट्या दृष्टवान्।
एवं वक्तुं शक्यते सन्ध्या भगिनी, तत्रापि तत्र सन्दीपिनेः महर्षेः अपि तत्र विषयम् अपि स्वीकृत्य अपि लेखितुं शक्यते. So this main actually is for composition, right? So we need to write the frame the sentences. It's a creative one. We can think in what direction that we want. So guruhu nama guru seva. Guru seva is not just sakshat gurohu seva eva. Jeshthanaam api seva guru seva ityeva pariganyate. Or anyone. So guru, the word guru has so many meanings and so many dimensions in which we can see. So in that way, this is one of the contexts based on where the Kuchela's Guru Bhakti related to Krishna is kind of showcased in these sentences that you can do. Or if you can find out some story and you can write about his Guru Seva with respect to Sandipini Ashrama, where he was a student, that also you can write. So you can frame your own 5 sentences related to that. There's no harm in that. So this is just a model answer that in this way we will be able to write it.
परन्तु सान्दीपिनी आश्रमे कथा न श्रुतवती गुरुभक्त्या विषये, कुचेलस्य गुरुभक्त्या विषये न श्रुतवती। तदेव कृष्णम् एव स्वीकरणीयं, तत् सम्यक् भविष्यति। धन्यवादः महोदय।
अस्तु, धन्यवादाः। Okay, next is Gopal Krishnan Mahodaya. And Sainis Bhagini, I think you asked your question, but anyway, I've unmuted you. Yeah, Gopal Krishnan Mahodaya, you can ask your question.
In the lesson Tulasi,
right, we
are using the prak again. This is Bhojanat prak pratidinam Bhojanat prak Tulasi patranam bhakshena. Instead of the prak, we can use purvam word namapadam.
Yes, you can use.
It's like before food we are using it as prak. After food means we can use it
Paschat. Paschat. Prak and Paschat are opposites, before and after. Bhojanat Prak, Bhojanat Paschat. Api you can make use of that.
Prak is any rule or anything there for to use this as a avyayam for instead of
no. So for Prak, the grammatical rule is the corresponding word will be Panchami Vibhakti. That is the grammatical rule that is there for
Prak. If you use the Prak means
yes.
Dhanyavadaha.
Astu, dhanyavadaha. Sainis Bhagini, if you have any other question.
In this same Kuchela, Kautsara, the translation should be given in English or something so that few words are not known to us, so we can learn. Otherwise it becomes very difficult. So if there is an English translation, we can always relate.
Understood. Okay, so what you can try doing is, in case if that is like very much needed, you can try to translate this into English. Okay, so this will serve 2 purposes. So that's the main reason. Like so that you will be able to translate these Samskrita sentences into English, and you will know like what all words you are able to comprehend and what you are unable to. So definitely you can reach out to Maheshwari Bhagini or myself in case if you have any specific doubt related to certain words. So, but my recommendation is to use a dictionary to any word that you are unable to understand. And of course, any word that you see in these sentences can be easily found in a dictionary. So it's not something which is really difficult to understand. But please give it a try. Once you do it, you will really enjoy that the way you will understand the sentences. So that's the main reason I'm telling this. It's not that I'm unable to give you the meaning of these in English. Because this specific main, I wanted you all to try it out first on your own, to write 5 sentences on your own in Sanskritam. So if you have seen, even with respect to the Kriya Pada, when we do the Kriya Pada Abhyas also, we are trying to frame sentences. with adding more words, etc. So that is how we will develop the skill of framing the sentences. So that is very important, and hence please try it out.
Dhanyawad.
Sure, dhanyawadaha. Okay, so I have lowered everyone's hands again, and in case if there are any other pending questions related to any of the topics that we have discussed, maybe for next 3 to 4 minutes we can discuss, and probably we can conclude today's session. So before that, one important announcement that I want to make is please ensure that you have all kind of registered to the portal, that is the exam portal of Sura Saraswati Sabha. Do not worry, we will not be having the exam in January for Dvitiya. The online exams will be there only for Prathama in January. For Dvitiya, the online exams from the Sura Saraswati Sabha will not be there. But why I'm asking you to register is so that you can get the textbook and you can your learning will be complete. So you can do exercises, you can read some of the content that has been given in the textbook after the lesson, etc. So that is why it will be helpful for your learning. And do not worry and do not ask any questions or through mail or to Vyoma support or to Sura Saraswati Sabha support related to when would be the exam dates, etc. So for Dvitiya, the exam dates are not announced. So and hence do not worry about it. Okay, so that was one important announcement I wanted to make. Yeah, Sitaraman Mahodaya, you can ask your question. Next is Raja Raman Mahodaya.
Amram Mahodaya,
Ram Ram.
when reading a text, so it is given with Sandhi only. In many places, this conversation is using Sandhi only. So when you read, we should read it along with Sandhi, or we should do the Sandhi division and then read.
Okay, understood. Very good question. So there are two things here. So if it is just the words, if it is between, I mean, in a sentence, if it is between the words that Sandhi is there, whenever we are reading any text, for example, a Grantha, okay, like say Ramayanam or Bhagavatam, the ideal way to read it is the way it is, without splitting the Sandhi and making, and then splitting it and then reading it out. Okay, but while we are learning to do the Parayanam, while we are learning to read them, then it is good, or when we are trying to understand the meaning, it is good to break the Sandhi and read it out. But as a Parayanam, the Parayana it's like a mantra that has been given by the rishis, Valmiki or Vyasa. It's like a mantra. Every line in Ramayana or Mahabharatam is actually equal to Veda mantra. So the right way to tell it is to tell as it is. So that is for your first question. So now to continue on that, if it is a samasa, so suppose say, for example, in one of the previous shloka that we read, prahara, hara, vihara, parihara, samhara, pariharavat. So that is actually a samasta pada. So there also prahara, ahara, while reading, we can just give a very short break to understand which are the composite words and then read it out. But again, during Parayanam, we'll have to tell it completely. Hope this answers your question.
Dhanyawad.
Okay.
Namaskara, sir. Namaskara. Sir, these questions are not related to the lessons as such, but I saw the Sringeri Shabda Chandrika, that book, they have put Sringeri as Sringagiri. So
right.
Is Sringeri, what is the meaning and what is the, is Sringagiri correct or it's only printing mistake?
No, it's not a printing mistake. The place is called as Rishishringa. Okay, Rishishringa Parvata. Okay, so Rishishringa, Shringagiri, Shringagiri. So Shringa means basically the horn. Okay,
Yes.
Shringa means the horn. So Shringagiri is like, okay, the name is that, but because of the regional influence, that while telling it Shringagiri, it has become Shringeri. That's it. So both of them are actually the same. So it's a
Thank you,
name.
sir.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it.
No, just I was practicing writing, then I saw the spelling, I was wrong. So I just
Okay.
realized maybe. Achha, second question is, somewhere somebody was telling me that this tulsi we should not eat because it should be only taken as a what you call water. Tulsi water should be taken, but tulsi leaf should not be chewed. Something. Is there any? Can you enlighten me on that?
yeah, I'm not aware of any such rule because
Rule.
prasadam, tulsi leaves are also taken, it's consumed. But
Yeah.
if there's any Puranic reference, that we'll have to check.
Yeah, because in South we are generally prasadam when they give in the temple, we are chewing it, and if tulsi comes along with the water, we chew it. So I was just, somebody said, no, you should not. So I just said, let me, since you are a knowledgeable person.
It is more of a traditional practice also sometimes we would say. So, but yeah, if there are any Puranic reference to it, that is what will be valid to kind of substantiate for that. So, and then most of these, like, I mean, in general, like what I have seen that my gurus are practicing, there's nothing like, I mean, we shouldn't chew tulsi. So that's what I can say from my experience. But yeah, for a more detailed analysis, understanding, we'll have to look out for some reference from the Puranas or somewhere else.
Dhanyawada.
Sure. Dhanyawada. Okay. The last, probably last or maybe the last but one question. Venkat Subbiah Mahodaya, you can ask your question.
This is regarding the hard copy of the textbook. So
Okay.
I registered for Dvitiya, and I got downloaded soft copy. Whether it is possible to have a hard copy from Surat Saraswati Sabha?
Hard copy, yes, you can definitely reach out to Surasa Sabha website, the office, and you can get to know the details of it. So all the details, like, I mean, how to contact Sabha, everything is mentioned in on our course page itself. So you can definitely reach out to them, and then through phone, or if you're in Bangalore, you can definitely visit and also get it.
Astu, dhanyawad.
Okay, I'll just show you where it is. So if you come to this sanskritfromhome.org, not your student portal, once you log in, if you click on this Vyoma logo, this site will open, which is the front end of the where all the course page, announcements, everything is being done. So if you come there you will be able to see all the details related to how to get the textbook, etc. So this is for others also, other students who may be interested to know about these. So you can get to know about it. Okay, so you can come here, and here you will be able to get to know that information, where it is and so on.
Astu, dhanyawad.
Okay, sure. So here, how do I get the textbook? Here it is available. So this is the address, and you can contact this phone number, and you will be able to get that.
That notification is only for group of books, a bunch of books, means I think that is wholesale, not for an individual getting the book separately.
No, it is still possible, but only thing is you'll have to pay some courier charges for that. But you should be able to get it. You can just contact them and get it. Or if you have someone you know in Bangalore who can help you out, your friend or relative or someone, maybe they can visit and get the book and help you out with that. But if you are outside India, then it may be difficult to get a hard copy soon, definitely. So, but yeah, at least in India, it should be doable. Okay.
No, I am residing in Hyderabad. So
okay. So I think, yeah, you should be able to manage with that. Okay, I think we have a lot of time. So dhanyawadaha. One last, since I'm seeing a new name, I'm just giving a chance to the last one. Ramu Mahodaya. Last question for you. You can unmute and speak. Okay, so I'll go to Parvati Nataraj.
Regarding the Tulasi, someone was telling.
Right.
That if you gulp it without chewing, you will get it stuck in the throat and the windpipe. That's what I was mentioning.
Sure.
Traditionally, they say you should not chew, but it happens if you get stuck in the windpipe.
Got it. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Okay. Parvati Natarajan.
Namaste, Mahodaya. This is also regarding the Sandhi part of this thing, Parayana Mandal. While doing Narayanam or Bhagavad Gita or Sundarakanda, anything,
Right.
After each pada, we will stop and tell that visarga, no? So
Right.
while doing Parayanam, can we tell the continuously the whole line? No
Yes.
need to stop there.
Correct. The ideal way is to do that way, but the pada, when we do a pada cheda, it is still fine. It is still acceptable because we will not be having the breath control to completely tell the entire ardha shloka or something like that. But if we develop that capacity, yes, you can. You don't have to even stop in the pada.
Okay, by practice we should learn
Yes, you
that
should be
also.
able to get that. Yes.
Dhanyavadah, Mahodaya.
Dhanyavadah. Okay, so with that we shall conclude today's class. Sarvebhyah dhanyavadah.